This is young Charok Lama Rinpoche. May I invite you, my dear? Don't be shy. Come. You want me to walk up with you? No need, no need, no need. Come, come, come. Clap, everybody. This is Charok Lama Rinpoche. He's 25 years old, and he's past his 24th birthday. Born in the year of the monkey, very similar, very holy, and lovely personality, speaks perfect English. So you can ask him any questions you like as he teaches. And please feel free if you are not sure about anything, but let him finish his talk first before you put up your hand. And then we will have mics to give you to ask your questions.
Good afternoon. Hello? Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really sorry. I think they took a long time to make this, set up this whole thing, and I came in like in, I don't know, 10 seconds, messed everything up. I want to, first of all, I want to thank Walter Feng Shui and Lillian too, and the whole family for giving me this opportunity to talk to all of you. And I see it's coming into like real 21st to 22nd century, because everyone has their phones up like this. Anyway, I would like to thank them for giving me this opportunity to talk to all of you. And I won't say knowledge, but I have a few, maybe few pointers for some people, if it helps. And if it doesn't help, then you can go to sleep or something like that. So, can you hear still? So, yeah, so today on the event here, I was asked to talk about wealth. And as you can see that I'm someone who has a lot of knowledge on that. Now, when you talk about, okay, we have to concentrate a lot on a general level and on a very spiritual level. You have to have two different concepts to really see what wealth really means. Two different concepts. And on a very general level, then we have the worldly wealth, which Lillian's, I'm sure, has given you so many tips for the last 3 sessions, and I'm sure you're all going to follow it, and become rich. But you need to take into consideration, when you do those things, the mindfulness and the concept behind when you are following spiritual paths to gain wealth. I think this is one of the most important things, and when it comes to dharma, we say. And one of the reasons why we say this is, I'm not sure if it would actually be a good example to share to all of you, but anyway, I'm going to share it. They say it's like when you use dharma into gaining wealth without the right perspective and without the right motivation, the motive, without the right concept, thought, then it's like eating hot iron. That's pretty scary. Hot. Can so they have this what do you call it? This saying that if you don't have the right motivation and the right thought, the right concept before entering, Because so far, you have covered um, the 21 taras and then the 5 zambalas. And what was the other one? Yeah, the other one was Kingesa. So you have covered these 3. And these are, most of them are Buddhas. And some are Bodhisattvas, some are protectors. Yeah? And when you use Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and protectors to gain wealth, it has to be for a good cause. It cannot be for a selfish cause, no. Yeah? So this is one important thing to really understand. And like I said, I'm going to talk about the 2 different concepts behind the whole thing. Lina has only given me 45 minutes. so so I won't be that long. But anyway, coming to the general concept of wealth, which is money, right? It's a big thing nowadays. Yeah, it's what makes the world run, as we say, right? It's something that we cannot do without. In the olden days, I don't know, 2,500, 3,000 years ago, they didn't have like money. Money wasn't as important as it is now. So what they used to do was, the main way to survive was trading, which means you have a skill, you have certain kind of skill, and you use that skill to get someone else to use their skill. You provide some skill from your side, and then you gain something out of that. So one has a rice field, one has a corn field, yeah, and then you give rice for corn, something like that. Now times have changed. You come into, what is it, multiplexed world? Is it a multiplexed world? What is it called? No, there's this word for the cities, big cities. Yeah, metropolis. You come into the metropolis age. And here you need to concentrate. For us, it's much different. For a monk, for monk like myself, it's completely different. We live in a monastery. We don't really have to think that much on this side. We don't have to think that much on this side. So it's a little bit different. But for people like you who who live in a metropolic world, who live in a metropolic world, it's important. And a lot of the things you do, since you start at a very young age, going to a good school, getting good education, finding a good job, this is all for wealth. It's all for money. Yeah, and there's nothing to deny in it. And then you proceed into life, and then you become richer and richer and richer, and then as you become richer and richer, then one of the things is our self-grasping attitude also becomes higher and higher. Therefore we want more and more, and it just keeps on going, right? It keeps on going and going and going and going. So this is material wealth. Yeah, if you don't have the right concept behind it, then it takes, I would say it takes over you. It takes over you. It helps a lot. Wealth helps a lot. Money helps a lot. In a general world, health, education, facilities, all of this is dependent on, nowadays it's dependent on money and wealth. So it's important, like I said earlier, it is important. Now, like I said earlier, if you are not aware, the awareness part of you is not that stable, then what happens is it starts to take over your life and take over your mindset and everything else. Now, one of the things that everyone knows in this room is we all want to be happy, right? We all want to be happy. And this is one of the methods that we use to become happy. Now, happiness does come from it. You're wealthy. You can physical needs. These are the things. If you're using wealth into gaining physical needs like health, education, so on and so forth. Now that's something that is good.
You're using it for something that is good. We have this concept of what a human is in Buddhism. We call it the precious human rebirth, and it's very precious. I also would like to, you know, um, take this moment to tell you that, loving yourself comes to a point that loving yourself is important. Having acknowledging that, you having this body and this brain, the combination of this body and this brain can achieve amazing things in this life, really great things. You need to know that, and therefore, precious human rebirth. So, in order to survive, this body and this brain, you're using outward, what do you call it? Outward wealth, in order to benefit it. This is a completely different concept now. You are gaining something out of doing something in order to gain something more. But then you come into this modern world, you see gadgetry, you see so many things that promote to get companies that promote to gain money, so on and so forth. So many different things, and a lot of things are unnecessary things. If you really start to sit down and think about those things, a lot of the things that in a world are metropolitan world. A lot of the things in the modern metropolitan world that we think, somehow gives us some kind of name, fame, or whatever, is in a way like an illusion. It's a manipulation. So now, why I'm bringing this up is because I'm trying to say, once you get the wealth, use it for meaningful cause. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Because a lot of the things that people do use wealth for is completely insane. Doesn't make sense at all. And I think for a person who has lived in this kind of society, where these things are like the biggest things that happen, it's a little bit hard to understand. But if you're willing to give it some time and try to manipulate, try to run it in your run it a little bit out there, then maybe it will start to make a little bit of sense. But anyway, so this is the second point. Now the third point I want to tell you is about gaining spiritual wealth and what spiritual wealth is. Now, all the starting from King Gesa to the Zambalas to 21 Taras, what is the resemblance? What is the thing that connects those three? You need to understand that. Now that one is compassion. Okay, you need to understand that it's compassion. It's not the idea that they are powerful and they have all these magical abilities and so on and so forth, and they can do this. This is not the common link between them. That's not it. The common link between them is compassion. And I'm here to promote that. So, it's a very important concept. It is. Okay. Like I said, material wealth important. Now, likewise, we have this very famous saying, which everyone knows. Wealth can take you to a certain part, to a certain level. But after you reach that level, you have cancer, you have some kind of sickness, you have some kind of medical problem that medicine can't help. Then what? Yeah? You become as rich as Steve Jobs and so on and so forth. Still have the same problem. And if your mind is not ready, then exact same problem again. No difference. One is rich, one is poor. The other one from a village is poor. Steve Jobs is very rich. He lives in a mansion, big mansion, but exactly the same problem. The suffering is not so much difference. Not so much difference. Right? This one you need to understand. So money is important, but then when you have the right mindset, then you need to know, I'm sure all of you know, a lot of you being fathers and mothers of kids, the struggle you have been through to give them what they want. Yeah, you have struggled, of course, right? All of you have. Some have struggled to keep their parents alive. Some have struggled to keep their children alive. Some have struggled to keep their loved ones alive. You know this feeling. It's struggle. It's, you work hard. You lie where you have to. You cheat where you have to. You do all kinds of different things where you have to in order to help them, benefit them. It's a struggle. But you go through that struggle willingly. Yeah? Inside, there's happiness. When you're doing something very hard for someone who you really, really love, then that struggle that other people see doesn't become a struggle to you. It becomes something that you're doing willingly, unconditionally, happily, genuinely. This is the power of what love is. And compassion is that multiplied into countless. This is the power of what I'm trying to say is there's the power of compassion. And when you look at yourself, when you look at yourself in that manner, you sit down. What you achieve inside, what you achieve outside, outwardly, and what you achieve inwardly, it's two completely different things. Yeah. So not just concentrating on the outer wealth, also very important to consider on the inner wealth. Yeah. Everyone is so serious. Some look like they're about to go to sleep. So, I'm not sure if everyone is really sitting down and thinking, or they're just like looking at me and saying, what the hell is he talking about? Anyway, coming back to the point, inner spirituality is important. Likewise, Now coming back to the point that links that links King Gesar and all the Zambalas and Tara is, like I said, compassion. Now what I'm trying to tell you is that I'm going to give you a small idea of what compassion really is. We talked about mother and the strife and so on and so forth. I always give this example because I think it's one of the best examples. Some people might say, well, some mothers don't love their child. Some mothers kill their child, some mothers. Now I'm not saying all mothers, I'm saying generally, the stronger part is there. The willingness, because you carry your son in the womb for son or daughter in the womb for 9 months. So starting from that first very second, you work hard for that person, that child. You look at your son, you look at your daughter, you look at your whoever you love, genuinely, sincerely, unconditionally, someone who you are willing to do anything for. Someone. Okay? And that too, not because you are gaining something, but there's the willingness inside, there's a strife inside. You go beyond, unmeasurable, immense, whatever you call it. You go beyond anything to help them. This is the feeling that a lot of people understand. They don't have this feeling 24 hours a day, but sparks of it. You can feel it. Okay? This is a similar feeling to the feeling when you see someone or something, let's say a puppy, a small puppy, maybe about to die, half of the body is rotten, maggots eating it alive. Yeah? Small puppy, very cute. You see it on the side of the road, no one helping it. What's the feeling you have? Yeah? Is there that urge that you're wanting to willingly do anything to save that poor thing. Can you, some people feel it, some people don't feel it, I don't know. I think most people can feel it. You see, that's human nature. We are brought up by love. We live through life with love. And at the end, we are scared of living because of love. It's human nature. We thrive on it. Yeah, something that is very, very, very important to us. Something that not just connects, something that not just connects yourself, connects you to yourself, but connects you to everyone around you. Not just everyone, but every being around you. The ability to feel that urge, the need. Yeah, sparks of it. Imagine the puppy, like I said. Something inside that really, really pushes you into willingness to do anything for it, to save it. And that's not because you're expecting the puppy to thank you and, bow down to you. There's no expectation like this. Nothing like this. So similarly, your son, your whoever you love, your grandparents, your grandchildren, your son, your daughter, your loved ones. It's a similar feeling like that. When there is that feeling that you're willing to do something or anything for that person, unconditionally, sincerely, genuinely, there's a total different picture in it. Doing something for someone by expecting something and doing something for someone without expecting something, totally different. Some people say, how can you be happy? But if you know the feeling, you will know what happiness really means. There's a joy in it. A mother working 24 hours a day for his daughter, not because you expect the daughter to, come to your feet and bow down, not because of that. The willingness, genuinely doing it. There is a happiness in it, even if you have to work 24 hours, you have to sweat yourself. There's happiness in it. And I'm sure a lot of people have felt it. Yeah? Now that's spiritual wealth. Inward happiness. Yeah, happiness that is not dependent on things. Not dependent on gaining. Not dependent on expectation. Not dependent on something that because you achieve something. That's inward wealth. You need that. You want to be happy, you need that. Happiness, outward wealth. Okay, I tell you one true story, something that I've seen with my own eyes. When I went back to, I went to these villages and the earthquake came in Nepal. And we were, I think, one of the first, we were one of the first people who got up there after the earthquake, the Solukhumbu region. And there were some volunteers with us. Very poor people, and most of them have nothing. Old people, their sons and daughters and granddaughters, and all of them are in America. Old people, in their 80s, 70s, with their houses gone down, broken. But a lot of, not outer wealth, outwardly they're not wealthy at all. They're very, very, very poor. But inwardly very strong. Yeah? They see little hope. They're happy with that. Their house is gone. No problem. They say no problem. No, true, seriously. Their house is built out of boulders, small boulders. You see them, you talk to them. They're okay with it. No problem, they say. Now when you start messing with their faith, then becomes a big problem for them. And you see it's not about faith, it's the spiritual wealth they have, the inner wealth they have. They can, So similarly, then also you have families, very poor families, and Same thing up there, When I first went up there, and I met these people, all people. Some of them, their words from their mouth were, "Now I have no regret when I'm dying. I can die peacefully." These were the words that I hear, from them when I see them. Okay, now that I've met you, I can die peacefully. So these words don't come out very easily from all people. Yeah, you reach a certain age, then there's a little bit of frighteningness inside, maybe body, little problem with the body. Then there's, like I said, we thrive with love, whole life. And at the end, we are also scared of leaving it. So because of these things, then when you reach a certain age and you start to see that you are not as, the body is not as strong as it used to be, and so on and so forth. Then what happens? And fear starts to play. A word like this, to come out of your mouth at a time of at that kind of time, it won't come out easily. You need to be inwardly very, very wealthy to be able to say words like this at times like that. So again, everyone very serious. So the main thing that I'm trying to say is that if you look throughout your life, you see you meet all kinds of people. You meet people who take advantage of you. You meet people who, help you. You meet people who are genuine. You meet people who are not genuine. All kinds of people you would meet. And when you are building up your spiritual wealth, then you need to build it up on small things that small things that touch your heart, that makes sense to you, that pushes, that makes your heart beat like this. Okay? That brings happiness inside. You need to concentrate on things like that. And that comes back to the idea of working with your mind. Yeah? It's time? So that one, when it comes down to that point, then it comes down to the point that you need to start to work on your mind. Spiritual wealth is you gain it by working on your mind, stability of your mind. Yeah? And so now coming back to the earlier point with the connection between the three of them, the Tharas and the Jambalas and King Gesar, the main thing that they are protectors. Most of them are protectors. Some are bodhisattvas, some are Buddhas, like I said. Buddhas are full of compassion. They work because of compassion. They even became enlightened because of compassion. I'm not sure if all of you are Buddhist, but in Buddhism, when you are enlightened, and when you become enlightened, the only way to become enlightened is by having that exact feeling that I told you about, that genuine, sincere, unconditional, that willingness, that strife inside you. Having something like this, not for just your son and your mother and your kids, not just for the people around you, your community, not just the people of your nation, not just the people of this world, but every world, every being, every animal. Okay, that exact same emotion towards each and every person. The willingness to do anything for exactly each and every person. By developing that kind of supreme emotion, then you reach enlightenmenthood. Without that, impossible. So therefore, those who are Buddhas, yeah, compassion. Bodhisattvas are the ones who are on their higher path in attaining enlightenment. So that means they are working on their compassion. So second one also, compassion. Third one, protectors. Not all protectors are, emanations, as we say. Some protectors used to be, normal beings. And then because normal beings with mundane abilities, we call them. Yeah? And then subdued by someone who has compassion and brought into people's life, saying those who practice genuinely, sincerely, unconditionally, those who practice, those who are willing to help other beings, yeah, those who have compassion and are willing to help other beings, they will have a lot of obstacles on their way. So your job, after subduing you, your job, those who subdued, your job is to help those people and get rid of their obstacle. So all three, like I said, compassion. And if compassion is not there, then I doubt some people out of karma might work a little bit. But also, like I said, in Buddhism, faith can only take you so far. Not just Buddhism, even spirituality. Faith can only take you so far. You can sit in this room praying that you will be happy. May I be happy my whole life. May I be happy. You can pray a whole day and a whole night. Maybe your whole life you can sit here, but you will just starve. You won't be happy by doing something like that. Yeah, so you need to work. So faith, even in spirituality, I think, faith can take you only so far. Yeah? It will take you like this, then leave you here. From here, you need to work on yourself. The mindset, especially the mindset, you need to work on yourself. You have to. So my request to all of you, while gaining outer wealth, while on your journey to making more outer wealth, please give some time in your life to build inner wealth. Little bit. If not all your day, little bit. It's important. Not just for others, but even for yourself. It's important. For your happiness. It's very, very important. And I think this is one of the only ways. That's why spirituality is very important. Spiritual. We are all believers. We have faith. Christian, Hindu, Muslim, whatever religion you are, doesn't matter. Still have faith. Beliefs. And all of those faith and belief, I think, involved religion with the religion is involved with the same thing that keeps us connected, which is love. So it doesn't matter what you are, but still, when you are involved in spirituality, then you need to be able to work on that kind of level. No one can work that for you. In financial wealth, we say brokers, right? Brokers. I learned about marketing, so we call them brokers. Yeah, brokers. Any brokers in here? So you have brokers, yeah, and then you give your money to a broker and make them invest in good things. Then you live on the side and they'll make the money for you. The only thing you have to do is put in the money. They make the money for you. Spiritually, that doesn't work. That really doesn't work. A lot of people seem to think that works. It doesn't work. Trust me, it doesn't. You need to understand that. It's one of the things why people become so lazy. I just want to sit here like this and make them do all the things for me. You clean my room, you do that, you do this. You go, I give you the money, you go make some more money. We have become so lazy people, I tell you. If you really think about it, it's actually quite funny. So lazy. And we are used to that lifestyle. A lot of people are used to that lifestyle. What to do? You can't live like that. Wake up. You can't live like that. Yeah? If you have free time, like I said, materialistic wealth, important. Your life, you have to be able to stand on your own feet. It's important. It's a must. But when you get time, and if you are one of those people who can sit like this and send someone else to make the money for you, if you are that kind of person, then my request, please give some time to spiritual wealth. Develop compassion. Small sparks a day, I think, good enough. Being able to keep your mind in a state, a non-duality state, in a state where you are aware of your actions. Yeah? I'm not sure if everyone is a believer of past life and next life and what will happen after death. This is a question a lot of people ask. And every religion has an answer, right? I'm not sure if you are that kind of person. Some people are atheists, some people are, atheists who don't even believe in next life. But if you are a believer of that, then you need to know that we come into consideration of cause and effect. That's also one of the ways that feng shui works. You manipulate conditions around to gain something. It's like growing a plant. Yeah, you put the seed in, you don't put any water, seed rots. You put the seed in, you give all the minerals, but you don't put water, seed rots. You put in the seed, give it a lot of water, too much water, what happens? It rots. So you need to manipulate the whole condition in order to get fruit coming out of the seed, fruits growing. So similarly, I think feng shui works in a similar manner. Yeah? Not just feng shui, your life, your whole life works in a similar manner. And not just this life. Those who believe next life, for those who believe next life, also works in a similar manner. So work on it. Be aware of it. Work on it. I don't know, that makes sense? For a lot of people, it maybe not make sense. So, these are the few requests that I wanted to request all of you. Maybe a little bit of change, hopefully. Yeah. From one perspective, life is so long to live. It's very long. But if you look from another perspective, it's very short. It goes by very fast. You ask the elderly ones, life goes by very fast. They stand there, they're saying, oh, I'm already 80, I'm already 90. You need to take consideration, spirituality, you need to take consideration. Yeah, for those who are not very keen of those things, then I'm saying it's not too late. Still young, still got ability, body is still working, and most importantly, the mind is still working. Gaining spiritual wealth not much to do with body work. A lot to do with mind work. Yeah, not much to do with body work. So my request, yeah, like I said, life from one perspective is not very long. So you know, the time you have. Then at the end of the day, when you have materialistic wealth, and on top of that you have spiritual wealth, materialistic wealth I don't think can help you so much at the time of death. Not so much. Spiritual wealth can help you a lot. Even if it can't keep you alive, it will give you the strength to proceed. And that's more than what you need, more than enough. Yeah, makes sense? So everyone again very serious. I think it's because I'm talking about death. Death is a serious topic. Everyone doesn't. A lot of people don't like to hear about it. When I was younger and they used to explain to us about hell and all of that, I would freak out. Why are they talking about these things? I'm just scaring you, What's the point in it? So we stop talking about death. We go back to compassion, back to happiness, something that we all like to hear about. Happiness has many different levels, I think. Most of our materialistic happiness is a happiness that is very, very materialistic. It's time. I thought everyone's getting bored. Yeah. So what was I talking about? Yeah, materialistic wealth. So happiness, I think, happiness has many levels. One of the happinesses that we normally experience is very materialistic happiness. Go for a massage, you're laying on the I think a lot of people know about this. Yeah, you go for a massage, you lay down on the bed and someone's pressing your back and you're like, oh. Happiness, right? Like I said, one of the only real happinesses that I think are genuine is the happiness I explained. When you are happily sweating, working yourself to death, because of love. I think that's one of the only genuine happinesses that is one of the only genuine happinesses that I have seen in a lot of people. Other than that, I think a lot of the happinesses that we see around us, very, how do we say, not real, looks very fake. But again, like I said, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad and don't do it. You have to do it. Go for massage, enjoy yourself, relax. You have to do that. In life, you need to be able to release some of the stress, some of the steam that's boiling inside. And especially when you are one of the things that I think bring out the stress is because we live in a world that has everything to do with competition. Isn't it right? Yeah, you're put into competition when you are what? Kindergarten? When you are how many years old? Yeah, by your families. You need good marks, you need good that, good this, you need to come first. Yeah, then you compete. That's when your competition starts. And whole life, Singapore, I think one of the most competitive, regarding education, I think one of the most competitive. I've heard that a lot. I think also, but I'm not 100% sure, but I think too. Then you have high school, again, similar competition. Then you go into work, you find a job, and then again competition. You work yourself, and so the whole life you're pushed into competition. You need to be able to release some of the steam. So yeah, these things also important. But like I said, okay, I think I'm keeping going on and on about the same thing. So I'm going to just do this small request, my request, after listening to the whole day about how to make wealth and how to be able to get better wealth and all of this. Like I said, concentrate on outer wealth, but please don't get stuck into that perception. Don't get stuck in that perception and lose yourself. Because this is something that is very tasty. It's, what do you call it? Very juicy. Yeah, and people drive around with their fancy cars, live in big mansions. It's very juicy. A lot of people are like, but don't get manipulated by that. You won't. It's not the real source of happiness. It's really not. A lot of people have traveled to, I think a lot of people have traveled to third world countries. And a lot of people have this perspective, oh, third world country people, they're not happy at all. No roads, no that, no this. I'm from Nepal. I'm pretty happy. I have a lot of friends in Nepal who are very happy. It's not all, happiness is not all about that. So, my request to you, while you are doing the outward happiness, concentrate on building the inward happiness as well. The inward wealth as well. And that's important. And these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, King Yesar, Zambalas, 21 Tara, they will help you more, I think. They're willingly, I think their help towards you to gain inner wealth would be more genuine and sincere than them helping you getting outer wealth. That's what I think. No, really. That's what I think. You have a better chance at winning. Yeah, so I think I'll stop here. I think we were doing question answer, yeah? So, yeah, there's doing some question answers. If you have any.
So those of you who have questions, please feel free to challenge his perspective. Whether you agree with him, inner wealth more important or outer wealth more important. How many people think outer wealth more important than inner wealth? I want to tell you, very clever to talk, no outer wealth, no food. Hungry as anything. Starving. How to have inner wealth? I think I want outer wealth lah. You are so easily convinced. This young man here convinced you so easily. So I try again. How many people think outer wealth more important than inner wealth? Okay, this one all on my side, okay. We will go, we will travel in style, have our own private planes. Rinpoche, we will invite you on our private yacht. We eat caviar every day. You can suffer, no food to eat. Starving every day. But never mind, you can live on fresh air and sunshine, right? Okay, we try again. Okay, how many people, if, let us say, I give you a choice today, you want inner wealth? Fine, you give away all your money. No more outer wealth. So you still think inner wealth is more important than outer wealth? Yes? No? Yes. Wow. Wow, you're full of magic. He can convince all of you that inner wealth is more important than outer wealth. So from now onwards, no need to pray for outer wealth anymore. Just pray for inner wealth. Dear Jambala, please give me a lot of inner happiness. Never mind if I don't strike the lottery. Never mind if I don't get the job. Never mind if I don't have money. Right or not? Is that what Rinpoche is saying? No, of course not. That's not what he's saying. So what is he saying? Have some outer wealth, but have some inner wealth as well. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Come on, tell me. Well, you think that's what he's saying? No, that's not what he's saying. Is that what you're saying, Rinpoche? Come on, that's my question. Okay, all right. Is that what he's saying? Okay? Have some outer wealth, then have some inner wealth. That's what he's saying, right? Like? Okay. I pass it back to Rinpoche. Yeah. Now that I've wakened them up for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rinpoche, thank you for coming to Singapore to give us this precious teaching. And I have this question to ask you. This morning we learned about material wealth, how to generate material wealth, and now that you taught us spiritual wealth. So then my question to Rinpoche is that how can we transform the material wealth that we have gained into spiritual wealth, into Dharma? And the next question is that just now you mentioned the old people see you and they say that they have no regret after seeing you. They die without regret. So now that we see you, can we die without regret?
So, regarding the first question, this was, the first question was, what was the first question? Oh yeah, so, like I told you, you see, like I said, conditions are created by us, you know. Some call it conditions, some call it karma. Karma is, I think, a very extended, very long extended form of what cause and effect is. Yeah, I push something falls. That's a very normal example of what a cause and effect is. Now, karma is extended, extended not just in time, but extended in conditions as well. So many different conditions coming together to form things. Yeah, this is what karma is related to. Now, when you say you have created external wealth and you want to, create internal wealth, like I said, internal wealth, external wealth, you can make other people, make for you, so on and so forth. But internal wealth, like I said, you have to work on yourself. And one of the things about working on internal wealth is, like I said, practice. Yeah, studying spirituality, practicing spirituality, understanding the core. If you are a Buddhist, understanding the basic levels, the basic basis of what Buddhism is, and being able to use those in your life, contemplate those in your life. That's, I think, what really makes internal wealth grow. Yeah. Now, when it comes to Dharma, one of the things that really matter in Dharma, Buddhism, in Dharma, is that no matter how of a high practitioner you are, you need to learn, or you need to be able to come down to the basics. Always. If you are going up and you are reaching, if you are reaching a certain high level in Buddhism, and you start living in that, then, like I said, you get lost in it. So Buddhism, real practice, comes on the basis, being able to hold the basis no matter on what level you are. Now there are, like I said, there are conditions that you can use your outer wealth in, gaining, like offering, like you have offerings, all of these kinds of offerings, so on and so forth, you buy things like offering and so on and so forth, all of those things. You can do those things. and pujas and all of this. And like I said, those again depend on your mind. We talk about karma, we talk about conditions that we create. Yeah, we talk about positive karma, negative karma. Is it positive karma and what is it? Negative or negativity? When you talk about those things, then you need to understand that the positivity and the effect of the positivity comes from how genuine it is, how strong it is. Yeah, not because how much you have done and how many you have done. I think it can, like I said, it's not something, I'm not saying it doesn't matter at all how much you do. How much you do does matter. But more important than how much you do, what really matters is how you do it. Yeah, the perspective you have behind it, the genuinity, the sincerity, the unconditionality that's behind it. That's what really matters. Like everything, no? When you have that strength within you, then things start to work. Yeah? If you are doing something just because, like, let's say I have a kid and I'm sending him to, I don't know, I want him to do engineering and I pay I don't know how many $1 billion for him to go to do this engineering. Now, if there's no willingness in him and if there's no nothing, then it's hard to work out, no? the best you can do is, maybe he can get a degree, like a so-so degree out of it. But then there are people who, come out of nowhere who have studied, on side of the roads with, writing on small blackboards and stuff like that, who become genius, who become great people, who become experts in things. That's the willingness inside, no? So from that perspective, I think that's what matters. Now the second thing, the second question you were asking is about, I think you heard it wrong. The thing, what I was trying to say is, I'm not trying to say that you see me, that's why you have no regrets. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not sure if I'm a Lama or not. I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be recognized, they say. Me, myself, I'm not so sure. My mind's still all over the place. It's not in the state where it's supposed to be. I'm not talking about me, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about the people, the faith, the belief, the inner, the spirituality that they have. It comes to a point where, when they have such feeling like that, like I said, no, when you see someone at the time of death and you're able to say something like that from your mouth. Now, I'm talking about that feeling. I'm not talking about me. How can you have no regret after seeing me? That's imperious. That's crazy. Yeah, first time I heard it from that old woman, I was like, what? Doesn't make sense. For me, it doesn't make sense at all. But when you have strong faith, when you have strong, if, like for me, I would say, if the Buddha came right in front of me and said, you're going to die tomorrow, I'll be like, I bet you. That's good enough for me. Right? Again, not saying I'm a Buddha. Don't take the, I don't know. It's very hard to explain things without getting some kind of, I don't know. Anyway, so I think you heard it a little bit wrong. Yeah. Does it help? I don't know. Okay. Any other? So I think we will stop here. Yeah?
I think, any more questions? Don't be shy. You accept everything that Rinpoche tells you. Let me tell you a little bit about this Rinpoche. What you see before you is a 25-year-old young man, But in truth, he's the reincarnation of Charok Lama from the Solukhumbu region of Nepal, of the Himalayas. And the Solukhumbu region of the Himalayas, in the mountains, in the high mountains, a lot of holy men practiced in those days. And he was, in his previous life, he was the old Charok Lama with a long white beard. And I believe that probably I might have lived with him. And so when I first met him as a little boy, I said, maybe we lived together. And he said, yeah, you were a little monkey all the time climbing up and down near me. I'm joking. But you know, there is a lot of things that are very mysterious, that are way beyond our understanding. And I think Rinpoche touched very briefly on it when he tried to answer her question. It's not that you say you are this or you are that Buddha, no. It is the faith. The faith that makes you believe that even when an earthquake happens and destroys your life, and all that you have, all the material things that you have lost. Because you have such strong inner faith and inner strength and inner wealth, that what does it matter? If you continue to live, you can always build again. If you die, so be it. I think that's what you're trying to say, am I right? But today's session has been very, very beautiful. I personally have gained from it. You know, sometimes because I talk so much about feng shui and telling people how to improve their lives, sometimes even I forget about the need to spend time to develop myself spiritually. And I'm very glad for friends like Charok Lama, who is more than a friend. He is a member of my family. And all the lamas who have come into my life are to remind me that, hey, wake up, you know, you got to also give time to this side of your life as well. And so that's why after spending 3/4 of today, we pursue some material wealth, and why not? It will give us the capability to help a lot of people, yeah? And I think that's what he's advocating. Now I'm going to invite Rinpoche to please, if you have things that you need blessing, you just bring it on your hand and hold it in your hand. Or put it there. Table, okay. What else? Just put on the table. Put on the table here. Yeah. Rinpoche will say some prayers to bless, and all the wealth vases will be consecrated, and those who have taken them, afterwards you can come and collect them. Okay. So now we establish the motivation of everything we do today. Whatever we learn today, we will use it to generate not just material wealth, but internal wealth as well.
Where do we put it? Please pray for my father. He's been very sick.
You're from?
India.
This one. Chandigarh.
But in
I live
Australia.
Bangalore.
Okay. We live in Australia now. Just visited them.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.